Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I have a brief commentary to make in this weekend, Saturday, late Saturday version of Kenya Revolutionary um, live session. As you can see, the topic here today that is making rounds, especially on the uh, metasphere or Dandao, it's the question surrounding the death of Raila Odinga. Now, the latest that is really swirling around is that Raila's uh, in his body, when the toxicologist did their test or whatever the case is, a trace of ricin, ricin. It's a poisonous chemical that was found on his body. Okay, that is what is being said. Now, how true is this? I don't know. Okay, it might be a propaganda from some section of the country, but we don't know. But there's some truth in it. There's a possibility this can be true. Now remember, Aoko, Maverick Aoko, this crazy woman who's suspected to be part of the NIS. She was the first one to mention that Raila was actually uh, poisoned to death. Now we didn't know that she was. We didn't know that Raila was, aliwekewa rice kwa chakula ama whatever the case is, of alipigwa alichapwa shindano na hiyo chemical. But that is what this account, which is called, let me see here so I can bring it to you from them, okay? Because that's what's been said. Is the global intelligence. Some people are saying that global intelligence is an account run by some pro one-term affiliated politicians. Some people say it's a couple of people who are, with the NIS to spread rumors, propaganda, bring confusion. Take it for what it's worth, okay? You can take it with a pinch of salt. You can take it as gospel truth. But there's something to this case, okay? There is something to it, okay? Now, they're saying, GIST, which is global intelligence, whatever the case is, Rogans, seven ultimate affirm former Prime Minister Raila Odinga toxicology report while under intensive care revealed traces of ricin was found in his lungs and other vital organs, leading to induced cardiac failure. Okay, Global Command. Then they tag the British intelligence, whatever, gov of the UK and the US NSA gov. Okay, .gov. So you might see this and say, I don't believe that. I mean, there's nothing to confirm this, whatever, whatever. But there are, again, like I tell you, there's always some truth in it. That does not mean that the whole entire post is true, but it seems like there's some people who knew about Raila's death. Remember when I said Aoko, once she was the first one that I had mentioning through her X account that actually, posted that Raila Odinga was in critical condition, that he collapsed in his house in Karen and had to be flown out to somewhere in a hospital overseas. Remember that? That was almost a month ago. She was the first one to mention this. Now, after Aoko posted that, there were a couple of X accounts that started saying Raila is dead, Raila is dead, Raila is dead. And the rumors started picking up that Raila had passed away. And now people started demanding that Raila post a picture of himself being well, whatever the case is. Ati aonyeshe nini hiyo picha yake watu wamuone. Okay? Then, watu wa ODM, people were close to ODM and Raila Odinga, said, oh, Raila Kosawa. Then there was one of this guy who posted a picture of Raila Odinga in a hospital in, I think it was in Dubai, or whatever the case is. That St. Something Hospital, where, he posted that Raila was watching the Arsenal game. And then again, that was the only picture that was, first of all, they tried to tell us that he was in Nairobi. then people can trace your picture, kangalia the background of the hospital, and that they trace the hospital. The hospital is actually in Dubai somewhere, okay? Then, there was a message supposedly by Raila Odinga which said, I'm doing well, whatever, I'll come back with a message. You know, at that point, these rumors were still going on stronger that Raila had passed on. And indeed, the ODM folks, Casmuel, all those people were telling us, hey, Baba will be back. I just talked to him last night, whatever. Everyone was popping out telling us that, right, Raila is good, he's strong, he's recuperating, he's just resting, he'll be back. Then a week later, we were told on October 15th, I believe, that Raila had passed on in India, of all the places, okay? So everyone is trying to kind of make sense of the sequence of events from Aoko's tweet when she first broke the news that Raila had collapsed somewhere in his residence in Karen and had to be flown out of the country, okay, to other accounts that were shortly after that started saying that Raila had passed on, okay? And of course, the pro-Raila supporters were really upset with these rumors because they were like, okay, are you wishing our Baba dead or whatever the case is? So now here it is. Now, a week or two after that, or let me just say last week, after Raila was buried, Aoko made another tweet and said Raila's drink whiskey was laced with something, I don't know, which while he was in Dubai, he was staying in Ruto's favorite room, hotel room, whatever the case is. And that's how, he developed some complications and, Ali did evil. Now, to make this clear, I'm not saying that Ruto is liable in all this. I'm just going by what things are being posted online, especially from Aoko, which a lot of people usually take, with a pinch of salt. They don't believe Aoko. But the funny thing, whether you believe her or not, whether she's, crass as she might sound, giving you salacious details about her sex appeals and whoever's love life is heading to, or whatever the case is, things that she says always have some kind of truth in it. Okay? So we can't just overlook what she posts. So she was the first one to actually tell us about when Raila, was flown out, that he had collapsed and flown out of the country. And she was the first one who actually told us that Raila, Now, another funny thing is that Ruth, Raila's sister, it is reported that she said that she pulled the plug on Raila. Okay? Which means Raila was in intensive care. He was in the ICU. He was probably wired up, tubed up. He was not doing good, And I also say this in a tweet too. It was like, okay, in one of her tweets, she said that Raila, anaweza catch anashikanisha Wi-Fi ya Zion or something like that, So that also corroborates Ruth, who's Raila's younger sister, whatever the case is, story of pulling the plug on Raila Odinga. So which means Raila was in such bad condition where he needed to be put in intensive care. He needed intensive care. Okay? So here it is. Now today, like I mentioned, it is rumored that traces of ricin was found in Raila's organ, according to the toxicology report, while he was under intensive care. So this corroborates. Our saying he was in the tube. Ruth, her sister, saying she pulled the plug. And here is the global intelligence telling us that actually in the toxicology report, while under intensive care, revealed traces of ricin found in his lungs and other vital organs, leading to induced cardiac failure. Of course, there's the story that Raila was going on a run and collapsed. Now, was it a matter of Raila after he collapsed, then was put in intensive care unit? And that's when they found the traces of ricin in his system. Because now people are debating, okay, how come he died of ricin? Ricin was found in his in his vital organs, whatever the case is, in his body, part of body, lung, whatever the case is. Okay, how come there was no signs of it? Because if you Google ricin, somebody who was coming into contact with that chemical, the obvious symptoms are diarrhea, vomiting, and all that stuff, right? And also, there's a case of somebody who actually died, was poisoned, assassinated through this ricin thing. So this is not a new phenomenon when somebody is assassinated through this chemical. Again, the most famous example is somebody called Georgy Markov, who was assassinated. Georgy Markov died in London in 1978 after being stabbed in the leg with an umbrella containing the lethal poison ricin. He was 49. Markov covered life in Bulgarian intellectual circles for REFERL. Okay, so there's a case there. There's a precedent. Okay, of somebody who was actually unalived by the means of this lethal poison ricin, was stabbed in the leg. Okay, so the funny part is that the argument is there's the Indian doctor who mentioned the fact that Raila, when he was going for the job, the reason why he went to that small town, I forgot the name of that job, it starts with Kalas or whatever, Koala, Kaala, whatever the case is. That doctor, his name is NP Srijit, okay? And his quote is this. He's the director, Sri Dariyam Ayurvedic Clinic in Kerala. That's the town that Raila actually supposedly was taking his morning jog or run or whatever the case is. That's when he fell and suffered this heart attack. Okay. Now this doctor, NP Srijit, he says, this is quote. Okay, I'll give you the quote. He says, "We were only treating Mr. Raila Odinga's leg, which was giving him problems. For his other medical conditions, he had already been treated at a top allopathic hospital in Mumbai. Okay? After being discharged from Mumbai, he flew to Kerala for the Ayurvedic therapy on his leg. Okay? So, according to this doctor, who Raila went to see in Kerala, remember, I made a video before this, and a lot of people are also questioning, were like, why is Raila in this dodgy looking hospital somewhere in an obscure part of India? I mean, Raila is somebody of, is a dignitary. Why would he go to these dodgy hospitals in India and Kerala? Okay? Because it seems that the hospital didn't look like so here it is, the explanation. This is the reason why he went there. Now, for those of you who might not know what Ayurvedic clinic is, Ayurvedic is a traditional a healing method that is used in India. Okay, it's kind of like one of those, like, not yoga. It's not like yoga, but it's a traditional way of healing. You can just Google it and see what I mean by that. Okay, it's a traditional thing. So a lot of people, as you know, in India and other places in the world, some people just don't use normal therapeutic ways, modern medicine, to recuperate or to heal from whatever ailment they are suffering from. Okay, they look for alternative methods, traditional methods, and Ayurvedic method is part of it. So this explains why Raila went to Kerala. Okay, he had already been treated for it. Now, for those of you who might ask, why will Kerala? What's with this? What they So apparently, Raila suffers from DVT, as we later learn on that. For those of you who might be wondering what is DVT, DVT is deep vein thrombosis. Okay, deep vein thrombosis in his leg. So basically, he probably had like blood clots in his legs, which, walking and jogging might be therapeutic for your leg to, keep the circulation moving if you have blood clots in your leg. So that's why he went to this traditional hospital in Kerala, where he looks for alternative ways of actually, dealing with this blood clot in his thrombosis, whatever the case is. All right, deep vein thrombosis. All right. So that makes sense. So now it is coming together. Now, like I said, this intelligence, in your intelligence, so-called intelligence post that these guys are telling us here, uh, um, like you heard, they're saying that while he was on ICU, intensive care unit, that's when the ricin was actually discovered in his system. Again, ricin in itself, uh, it does not necessarily kill you within 72 hours or 42 hours, whatever the case is. But if it gets into your system in a high dosage in your system, it can lead or result into your cardiac arrest or cardiac failure or uh, heart attack. It can cause a heart attack. Your heart to stop if the system stays. It's in your system in high dosage. Okay, right? That was what makes it lethal. But usually there are symptoms for ricin is usually unahara, una vomit, but we don't know exactly. We don't know exactly what condition was Raila in when he was in Kerala. We don't know if he was vomiting, he was having diarrhea, was and sometimes you don't know. Okay, so that's why I'm saying there's a lot of gray area around this issue. I'm just saying that I'm not saying a lot of things, but what I'm basically trying to emphasize on zero in and basically the bigger point that I'm making is that the so-called rumors that Aoko and others, America Aoko, for those of you who might not be wondering which Aoko I'm talking about, which Aoko is the Anina Kwana. Can you hear me? Okay, I hope I'm loud. Anyway, I'm loud. But I hope you can. Hold on for a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible. Hold on, guys. All right. So what I'm saying is this. Crap. I'm trying to play. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix this. I want to make sure that I'm hard. Okay. Sorry. There's a lot of what is it called? Yeah, but anyway. Hello. All right, I'll finish up. So, like I told you guys, it's gonna be video. Anyway, like my video, like this video. Let me just wrap it up and wrap it up with this. All I'm saying is that our and others who might be connected to the NIS, they kind of told us about this before. They told us that there's a possibility that Raila was poisoned. And again, I will make a video tomorrow or maybe Monday to discuss this extensively. You know, the whole Raila's death and the circumstances surrounding his death is kind of murky. It's not there's something is up. Okay? Something is up, they were hiding something. And we're going to dissect that in my next video. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, share, comment, and do all the good stuff because we're going to dig deep into this. We're going to look at this whole video because there's a possibility. There's another angle that we can look at it. There's some people who are saying maybe there's some the people who are coming up with this talk of Raila being poisoned. Okay, they're basically trying to put blame on Ruto so that people can turn against Ruto, and so that Ruto cannot enjoy possible support from people of Nyanza. Okay, because of course if the people of yes, sorry, Poleni Sana is very static. Poleni Sana, I don't know what the issue is, but I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. I'll probably come for another live probably tomorrow or Monday for a clear, in-depth, put the pieces together and talk about this in depth. And let's look at the circumstances surrounding the unusual, abrupt death of Raila Odinga, which caught everyone in a shock. Not only the circumstances surrounding his death is suspicious, the way in which they hurriedly buried Raila. I mean, today I just saw Oburu is in a wedding. This is 10 days after Raila was announced dead. Oburu, his brother, is attending the wedding of that guy who spent the last days with Raila. I mean, everything just does not sound right with these guys. But all of that, I will talk to you guys about that in another video, probably tomorrow or on Monday. So stay tuned. So do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, just hit the like button, subscribe, share, like, comment, and put your notification on. I shall put the pieces together, and we shall have this discussion next time. Like I said, I was going to be here very short. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you, Wada Jazzy 9579 and Annie. Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk next time. Peace and blessing. I'm out.